Hi there, Belinda here from Recruitment Garage. I speak to lots of recruitment agency owners who find it hard to plan. They're used to being recruiters and looking at the next month. But when it comes to setting goals and really laying out what they're going to do week by week across the year to build their business, things become a bit fuzzy, and there's various tools that you can use, and most of them are pretty good. What I have found is I have one of those brains. I've got an entrepreneurial brain, so I tend to go in lots of directions and create lots of lists and having to have too much happening, and then you end up in a world of chaos. So there's lots of great tools out there, but what I find with a lot of them is there's a lot of cool functionality on them. They look good, they can link to this and link to that, and sometimes that just creates more confusion. I guess I want to cover off two birds with one stone with this video. One is showing you how to plan out your year very quickly with a tool I discovered the other day. It was recommended by somebody I was watching. I wish I could remember who, but anyway, it's a product called workflowy.com. It's free. I'm sure there's an upgraded version, but the version I use is free. And so workflowy.com, workflowy.com, and what it helps you do is really plan out your year in a very linear, very easy, clean way. And I love it. So I'm going to run through an example here with you, very light, but if you like it, check it out, sign up and give it a go. You'll see over here I've got the shortcuts. They don't automatically come up. I had to do a bit of how-to on YouTube myself to get this to come up, and all you need to do is press, if you're on a PC, the Windows button and the question mark. If you're on a Mac, that control key and the question mark, and this will come up for you. So all you need to do, I'm going to make this a really simple example, but I think you'll get the point of how easy it is. And if you are somebody who's coming to work every day and you don't really have a plan, just follow this simple process and it will give you something to make sure that you're maximizing every day. All you have to do is first up, is put your first heading in. So we're going to put right at the top of the tree, we're going to call it yearly goals. All right. Now, when you're setting your yearly goals, 2 to 3 is absolutely enough. Don't go giving yourself 10 or 15 goals. You'll never achieve them. Give yourself a few goals that if you reach them, you would be absolutely over the moon about. So we're going to say that this year, we're going to start a new division in our agency for project managers. And we've decided that we're wasting too much of our effort on filling roles that aren't exclusive. We've been doing too much contingent work, so we're going to move from being a contingent business with only a few exclusive roles to having at least 80% of our roles. No, we're going to go 90. We're going to go 90% of our roles are exclusive. So in 12 months, we want 90% of exclusive. So if you were going from 20% of exclusive roles to 90%, you'd be pretty happy, right? So that's our second goal. Third goal might be to double your pool of engaged freelancers. And when I say engaged, people that know you and want to hear from you. So there's our 3 goals. With each of those goals, what we then want to do is look at the first 90-day milestone. What do we need to do in the first 90 days to move us forward to that goal? Down here, hang on. There we go. Move that back out. We can then start to look. You could do this one of 2 ways. You could go into each one of those goals and do 90 days for each of them, or you could just put it all in together. For the case of this example, I'll just put it all in together. So we want 90-day milestones. So how are we going to know that we're on track in 90 days to hit our yearly goals? All right. We are going to, if we look at our first one, setting up the project management division. Well, what do we want to have known in 90 days? We're going to have our market fully mapped. Ideally, we would also like, within 90 days, we're going to have started to engage with that market. So what will we be doing to do that? It might be that we do a webinar for that market, for example. So we have, all right, and then project managers want the market fully mapped. We want to have completed a value webinar with the project management market there to obviously build our awareness and relationship with them. Then we look at 90% of roles exclusive. What is it that we need to be doing to shift that? If you've got consultants working for you, do they know what conversations to have. One of the things that may need to have happened within that first 90 days for that is perhaps completed training. No, actually, we're going to change that. All consultants fully competent at selling exclusive roles. And then for the doubling the pool of engaged freelancers, maybe what we've decided to do there is to implement a loyalty program with all right, so looking for ways to use your current talent to bring in more. And maybe another action that you might do there is you might decide to completed a personality quiz for one of your divisions. Might already be that you place UX people. So completed a personality quiz, UX talent, and these are all just very rough examples. But then, so we go, all right, so yearly goals, going to start a project management division, 90% of our roles are going to be exclusive, we're going to double our pool of engaged freelancers. What needs to happen in the next 90 days to move us towards that goal? Well, by then we should have our market fully mapped for project managers. We've completed our first value webinar with the project management market. You may decide that's a way to engage with your market. And then when it comes to the exclusive roles, all your consultants are fully competent at selling exclusive roles. And when it comes to doubling your pool of engaged freelancers, you're going to implement a loyalty program with a referral incentive. You're going to have run a personality quiz for UX talent. I won't go into the details there. There's just ideas for you. But then what you want to do from there is so we don't have to think about the 90 days after that right now, just your first 90 days. And then we bring it back to your monthly actions, all right? So monthly actions, put them here. So for the first one, project managers, we want our market fully mapped. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to get a outsourced VA to map the market so that we know who they are. So that addresses our first point there of the market fully mapped. And we're going to, again, speaking of this project managers, we're going to have completed a webinar with the project management market. So in the first month, what do we need to do to have that webinar have happened? We need to get a topic decided for webinar, confirmed a speaker and a date. And then we may also need to have all tech requirements. All right, so that'll do for that one. And then all consultants fully competent at selling exclusive roles, monthly actions to complete training for consultants on, not sure what's going on with my typing today, to complete training for all consultants on how to sell exclusivity. We might create a buddy system for consultants to, all right, so we might have created a buddy system for consultants to practice selling exclusivity to each other. That could be another idea. And then for our doubling our pool of engaged freelancers rather, we want to, and our milestones, we want to have implemented a loyalty program with a referral incentive. So the first thing is, well, we need to really understand how to do that. So perhaps we need to speak to some people about how to do that. Speak to loyalty program specialists on how to implement a loyalty program. And then completed a personality quiz. We may need to investigate how to do this. So with something like quizzes, there's a software for everything now. You can research on do online quizzes, and you'll find software that you can actually use to run this. And quizzes are cool. People like quizzes, and quite often they'll engage with them. So you can use that as a tool to, get more people in. It's just a bit of a fun, bit of a gamification thing. So investigate how to embed a quiz into your website, for example. Or you might send it out by email or whatever you want to do. Put it on social media, but we need to do some investigating around that. All right, so there's our monthly actions. And then what we want to do is the final step in this is to create weekly. So get it in your diary, get it happening. So we want to schedule it. Schedule it weekly. So what's going to happen every week? in order for this to move forward. Now, you can write out the whole month's activity if you want to, if that works better for you, or you can do it at a week at a time and review it at the end of each week, whichever way your mind works best. If we go back up to the monthly actions, then what do we need to schedule every week to make it happen? Get an outsourced VA to map the market. So what do we need to do in week 1? First of all, we need to create a brief for them. Create a brief for the VA, and then you might want to reach out to 5 VAs and choose the right person. Give them a test and review that test and make sure they're coming back with the information you want. So that's the first monthly action ticked off. So that's all we need to do in that first week. In fact, what we might find is that I should do this way. This is week 1, and then we want to move this one over. And I can't remember how to do it. So how do I do it here? Indent. Oh yeah, just hit tab. All right, that's better. All right, so schedule it weekly. Week 1, create a brief for the VA, reach out to 5 VAs and choose the right person, give them a test and review, and then week 2, I would actually move that test maybe down. Week 1 might be a bit soon, so let's move that down. It worked. There we go. Move that down there instead. So the first week, you're creating the brief and you're finding them, choosing the right person, give them a test to review, and then you would want to review their test and choose the best VA. There we go. That might be week 2. And then topic decided for the webinar. So you might decide in week 1 you want to reach out to specifics are good. Reach out to 5 people in your market to discuss webinar topics. All right, that might be enough for week 1. So then you collate those, and then in week 2, once you've got those, choose the topic and make a list of potential speakers. So there you go, you might do that in week 2. Then we come back up here to our actions, confirmed a speaker and a date. So that you might do these actions to find a speaker, and you might then, it might be the 3rd or the 4th week that you actually confirm that speaker. It might not all happen in the first week. Then to complete the training for all consultants on how to sell exclusivity. Now, maybe that's something that you can do internally, or maybe it's not. So if you feel like you want to get an external trainer, so in that week 1, or you might go, you know what, I've got enough week 1, let's just look at week 2 here. And we're going to speak to 3 potential recruitment trainers on training the team on exclusivity. Boom, got that. And then you might go, yep, so that's week 2, that's enough for that right now. Once we've done that, we'll go from there, decide what we want to do after that. So that gets us underway with that. These are monthly actions, so you don't have to address them all in week 1, but in week 1, you're looking at what are the things that are going to start to move this project forward for you. And if you want to step it out week 2, week 3, week 4, and that makes you feel a bit more comfortable, then do that. What else have we got here? Have all tech requirements sorted. So you might kind of go, oh, we don't need to do that in week 2. Let's look at week 3. Review 5, maybe not that many. Review 3 webinar platforms and select one. All right. Complete training. I've jumped ahead here. Doesn't matter. Create a buddy system for consultants to practice selling exclusivity. Well, you might kind of think at this point, haven't even got the trainer in yet. I'll come back to that at about week 4, and we'll worry about that then. So you might not select any actions yet on that one. Speak to loyalty program specialists on how to implement a loyalty program. Yeah, you might decide you're going to maybe do that week 4. So you could put in week 4 here. Identify loyalty specialist to speak to. And investigating a quiz, you might think, you know what, got enough on my plate for these first 4 weeks, I'm going to leave that. So that's how you do it. And what I like about this, look how simple and easy that is. I mean, you can use different cases and stuff if you want to, but everything just follows really easily. And if you decided, you know what, I'm actually going to do this in week 1, not week 2, it's just a matter of drag it up there, whack it up there. So it becomes a little bit of a fluid document for you. There's nothing in there to get in the way. If you want to delete things, add new ones, you can do that. You can collapse and expand things. So if you wanted to go and just look here, you can collapse all that down, and it just makes it really easy to focus on what you want to focus on at any one time. You might just think, you know what, I just really want to think about my monthly actions right now. So collapse all that down, expand that one out, collapse all that down. All I want to focus on today is my monthly actions. I want to review that and make sure that I feel like that's the right plan for this month. And nothing else is in your way. Nothing's screaming at you. It's not linked. Don't link to me. Don't send me somewhere else or format me in some different way. Just a list of the stuff that you need to get done to move your business forward. You've all heard it. Massive action will move your business forward. This is a really easy way to set out a plan. And look, this is a made-up plan. I'm not suggesting this is one that you use or that's necessarily the right time frames or anything like that. But the process, understand the process, set your yearly goals, get your 90-day milestones in place. What's the next month's actions that are going to move you towards that? And then I guess the most critical piece here is look at what it is you can do this week to move that forward, next week to move that forward, and then keep on. This is a live document, so tweak it and change it as things happen. And if you need to speed things up or slow things down in terms of getting you to where you want to be in the right time, this framework will allow you to do that. So hope that helps you out. It's a really simple tool. I'm using it at the moment in my business and I'm finding it really, really easy to use. So hopefully that's of value to you. Look, I'm not pretending to be an expert in it. I only came across this about a week ago, but I'm really loving it and wanted to share it with you because I thought there could be some value in it for some of you. There you go. Enjoy it. If you've got any comments on it or different ways to use it and you want to share, love to hear from you.